What you are seeing is real. These tarot cards represent the current energies of specific people with a case pending in the Universal Court. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their spiritual beef and have their dispute settled here in our forum, the People's Court Tarot. Thank you for joining me, Capricorn. I have read your complaint. It is here. It is here. So number one, Capricorn, I feel like you think that someone is lying, but the issue is that you don't think that they see it that way. You feel like a person is inside of a mental prison and that their actions are based on that. And your actions are based on that. But the thing is this person does not see it that way. So they may be saying one thing and doing another, and your action to balance that action is to kind of stand at a distance and just watch this person and see what happens. So I think you feel like this person just doesn't quite know who they are, and they've maybe been wearing a mask about who they really are, or trying to figure out who they really are for a long time. I think there's also a way in which you feel like this person's I don't know, like they do things to kind of hurt themselves, or they go back to things that hurt them. And that is also why you're kind of standing back at a distance, just kind of watching this, because you are waiting for this person to figure this out. There's some sort of a message too. Maybe there's some sort of a secret message. Someone took some sort of emotional action. Like, I'm just getting there's deep emotional instability here, even if someone is not being honest about that. I think that's your issue, that maybe someone is hiding the fact that they're unhappy, or hiding the fact that there's some sort of a tumultuous situation at home. But I feel like that's not, that's just the truth about that is not coming out. It's weird, Capricorn. I feel like your complaint is that someone thinks they're happy, but they're not, which is a weird thing that's just a weird thing to say. It's very, like, not even in the third person. It's like in the fourth person. It's like, and maybe that is your issue too, is that your complaint is that if someone is not happy, why would they swallow it? Why wouldn't they figure out a way to tell the truth about that so that they could be happy for real, out in the open, and not have to hide their emotions, or just like fake. It's that's your complaint. It's like, why would someone pretend to be happy when they could just really do the work to like be happy? There's also, I'm just getting, there's something about emotions from the past, or who someone used to be from the past. Maybe someone from your past is saying that they've changed, but you can see that they haven't changed. You can see that they're pretending, and maybe it frustrates you because this person really does have the capability to change, but they would have to have some sort of emotional breakdown in order for that change to happen. And this person is kind of dancing around the issue because maybe it hurts to actually go through whatever they would have to go through to have this real transformation that they want. It's like they want the result of the transformation, but they don't really want to go through the transformation because it would just, it would be too painful. So I feel like you feel like this person has been wearing this mask or being in this maze of deception or self-deception for a long time. And yeah, I think that's your complaint. I'm going to leave it there. I think also there's just, you just really want some clarity. You want this person to see themselves. I can't reiterate that enough. I feel like I keep saying it. There's also something going on with messages. Messages and somebody watching someone else or it's just going back to they can see, you can see this person kind of dancing around. You can see it, but they act as if they are clear, but they're clearly not clear. I am repeating myself, Capricorn. Okay, so that is your complaint. I'm going to go over here to this other person's side and see what they have to say about this. So, this person is saying that they are wary of moving too fast, of what happens when they do move too fast, because maybe they have moved quickly in the past and they have proof. I think this person just has proof that moving quickly throws them more off balance. So I think number one, when you say that this person has been doing this for a long time and you don't know why they don't just make the changes and go through the thing that they need to do, this person for some reason is equating that with speed. And so they're saying that they cannot be fast about this, or maybe they have thought about this situation and they are like wary of being carried away because they want to be stable. I think this person also feels like you're looking down on them, or your position for observing this situation is kind of way at a distance, way on top of the situation. So I'm just going to reiterate, like looking down at this person. And this person feels like, why do you feel like you need to control how fast they figure out who they are anyway? I mean, if it's a quest of self-realization, because I think that is what you're saying, is that this person doesn't see themselves. They're saying that, in order to have proof of who a person really is, that takes a while. But I think this person is also saying no matter how long it takes, why do you feel the need to control how long it takes as you watch this person, as you watch them from a distance, from like your privileged position? Because I think what this person is trying to say is that, like, if you feel like they're in an emotionally unstable situation, right, and that there's some sort of dissatisfaction that they're hiding from themselves, that seems to be like a little bit of control. Like you may feel like this person is being controlled and they don't see it, right? Well, I think this person is saying for you to be upset about that and for you to want them to see anything faster than they already are going to see it on their own, that's just you trying to control this person, but in a different way. So it's like, that doesn't, you don't really want freedom for them, or I don't know, they're not sure what you want for them, because what this person wants is to be stable and to have, I think this person is a person who follows their intuition with this Page of Cups here. But it could also be immaturity, but there's just like a certain emotional proof that this person is looking for, that they feel like they're being moved, that they can't move on, I think, until they have it, until they have some sort of emotional proof, which requires, there's just like a battle that they have to fight. And it's like, I don't think this person can think about it. I think this person has thought about it, and their brain hurts, from thinking about it. So they're like, it's not going to come from there. It has to come from action, and it has to come from intuition. And so maybe this person is waiting for their intuition to get stronger. But either way, this is their lesson to learn. And whatever lessons that they need to learn, like, people need to learn their own lessons. That's what this person is saying with the World card. Lessons have to be fixed. because this is Saturn energy, which actually Saturn rules Capricorn. So I think this person is also saying, like, you of all people should understand that in order to receive the best of what life has to offer you, you have to learn your lessons. And this person is saying, like, this is their lesson. This is something that their soul needs to experience in order to have this lesson be made a fixture in their soul, like not something flimsy, because if it was flimsy, then they would be doing this thing here. So I think this person's just trying to say, like, this Seven of Swords energy, which is like saying one thing and doing another. Well, that energy of not exactly saying one thing and thinking that you're going to do that thing and then doing another thing, that's actually the path that this person is saying that they need to be on, because Seven of Swords is a moon in Aquarius. So, we have the moon here. The Aquarius is about the star card. It's about the energy of this card is about combining the moon with the stars, with combining like where you feel like you're guided to go with how you feel. That's like an internal navigation system where your external movements are based on your internal map. So building an internal map takes lots of trial and error, right? And to the outside eye, it looks just like this. It looks like craziness, because you take 3 steps forward, you take 4 steps back, you take three steps to the side. But it's almost like, if you think about a person who has like a cell phone and they can't get a signal, and how they wander around, feet moving in circles trying to get that signal to know where to go. Or if you think about somebody with a compass, how they have to hold it up and then you have to walk a little bit to see the directions change to know which way you're pointing. Or even with a person like with an antenna, how if you can't pick up the signal, you have to move it around. It's like, that's what that looks like. So maybe you don't understand what you're seeing when you look at what this person is doing, but they're just trying to say, like, that is what they're doing. So if you want them to just have like lots of movement, but they're not certain of their direction, then, they're not going to end up where they need to be. And that's what's most important for this person, is for them to end up where they need to be. And if they have to have some timeouts, they're saying that that's just what the universe has for them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead to the verdict, because I feel like that's pretty complete. So the verdict is the 8 of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Moon. So I feel like we've talked about those cards, and we've talked about the 8 of Swords. You maybe didn't know it, but I was talking about it here because this is 8 swords, 7 plus the 8. So the energy of the 8 swords is here, and that's that mental prison that I was talking about. So I think what the verdict is saying is that in order for this person to stop being confused and stop being in this mental prison and tied up from what their soul really wants to do, this person is going to have to really have proof of their emotions in their life. So they're going to have to see what happens when they feel certain things, and then those things make them do certain actions. It's almost like a science experiment with their life. Like, this person has to see what happens based on their emotions. And then that is what is going to help pull them out of this mental stagnation that will, like, have a final destination, I guess. But before that happens, I mean, this person is headed for, like, a dark night of the soul. Because the next card after the 8 of Swords is the 9 of Swords. It's like, there's something that this person is gonna have to end eventually, but first they have to agonize over it, but first they have to feel their feelings about it. And that's a process that, it just has to be done step by step. So they're working the steps. And because if you think about it, you feel like this person is here in the 7 of Swords energy, but the very next card after the 7 of Swords is the 8 of Swords. So it's like, first they have to do all this back and forth figuring out their GPS, and then they have to stop moving altogether and become the antenna and just feel which way to go. And then, then they will have to logically come to certain conclusions after they do that, which may be painful. And then they have to actually, do those things. But like I said, I'm repeating myself, so I feel like the message is complete at this point. So Capricorn, the verdict is you have to observe this person's process. So whereas you think that they're not making progress, they are, but their steps are their steps, and these are the steps. So, do with that with what you will. Okay, so that's complete. I'm going to close it out by saying this is my channel, the People's Court Tarot, and I'm here to remind you, Capricorn, that if you have a dispute and you just can't work it out, don't take karmic law into your own hands. You take them to court. Thanks for watching. Bye.